And that is the single most important move you will ever do when it comes to getting physically fit. It's getting nutrients without calories.
Well, you're right, and you certainly get a lot more energy. And the reason I'm behind this is not just because I've seen Aaron have such great results, and I was like, wow, I better, I know this is good stuff. I know it's given me some results, but I haven't really been taking it that often. I need to really get into this. And when I finally committed, and it's so easy to do, that the results have been so crazy that I am convinced this is a major revolution, pharmacist Ben Fuchs, against the globalist. If we can get more people involved, it's InfoWarsTeam.com. And I know I butchered that announcement earlier because I can't really read it from where it is on the TV screen. But it's Saturday, February 4th, 2012. And the details are, again, at InfoWarsTeam.com, and there's a phone number there on the site, too, if you have any questions or want to become a distributor for the great longevity products at InfoWarsTeam.com. All right, Ben, great job. Great having you on with us, and I guess we'll see you here in Austin next week, and you're in studio Friday, right?
Looking forward to it, Alex. Thanks a lot, buddy. All
right, thank you. We're going to come back from break with your phone calls and a ton of incredibly important news straight ahead on the other side. The websites are prisonplanet.tv, prisonplanet.com, and, of course, Infowars.com. Stay with us. All right, we're into hour number 3. Coming up after your calls, Ron Paul slams Obama's State of the Union as campaign speech. Persian Gulf Option 1, a false flag. Iran summons Danish envoy, reduced threat to close Strait of Hormuz. British, U.S., Israeli, NATO ships steaming in, saying confrontation could happen within days or weeks. Ahmadinejad ups rates to stem money crisis as the West banking pressure and embargo shuts the country down. The Muslim Brotherhood is shutting down press freedom in Egypt. The West helped overthrow the old dictator they put in. I mean, it's just bedlam. I haven't gotten to Google announces privacy changes across products. Users can't opt out, and it goes on to say they're basically going to just spy on all your data and give it to whoever wants to buy it. And it'll be a bunch of errors in it as well, and a bunch of crud. That's in the Washington Post. That's all coming up. And, of course, the shock docs, total federalization of police under new Homeland Security mission. This is a federal occupation of every facet of society. And they're training you to be picked up and arrested off the street. I got to tell you, that's what all this TSA stuff's about. And they're getting ready for forced inoculation. American Medical Association's calling for it. California's passed a law for it. Going to shoot your kids up without consent. And they are gearing up to carry out their criminal actions. But they're smart. They know how to do it slowly until it's too late for everybody. Matthew in California, thanks for holding. We'll go to Jared, Jonathan, Howard, Mike, and others. Go ahead, Matthew.
Alex, I got a couple comments and a question. All right. I talked to Ben Fuchs about a month ago, and I'll give a testimony. It works. I was having some skin conditions. He lays it down, gives you the truth, doesn't try to, he just lays it out. And then,
by the way, you were on hold before Ben Fuchs got here. We don't screen calls, folks, as anybody who's ever called in knows. So I guess you've heard him talk about it. You listened to what he said, and it cleared up your skin. I'm telling you, that these folks know what they're talking about. InfoWarsTeam.com, he's our big consultant.
Yep. And then yesterday, I went and on my blog, I reposted a link that you guys had for yesterday's article for SOPA. And within 24 hours, over 10,000 people have reblogged it. They're hitting it up. You should see these comments just lighting up. People I don't know. And they're just, everybody's flipping out. I'm getting it from all around the world. I mean, you know it too. But just...
You're talking about a turbocharged awakening, and that's why the criminals, if you watch this Homeland Security video we've got, are squirming around in their chairs, talking about a total takeover of all local governments and how dangerous the lone wolves are. And Napolitano is basically shaking because they know what hardcore criminals they are. They know we're discovering the joke of how slimy they are. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Absolutely. Here in California, all you got to do is just go outside and look up, and you got 4 planes everywhere. They're all flying super low. They're spraying. They're doing, at night you got the ones that are hovering real low.
White House admits they're chemtrailing us. They say details are classified. The corporate whore media makes fun of us when we play the White House science czar admitting they're spraying us. Total insanity.
That's what they're doing, and we know. So people got to wake up. People use every resource you got. Everybody has something to do. It's no joke anymore, and it doesn't matter what happens to us, because the moment that we die, whether it's tomorrow or 30 or 40 years from now, the state of mind that we are in at that moment is going to determine what we were and what we're going to come back as. The info warriors know that. We got to spread it. Alex, thanks a bunch.
Well said, my friend. Let's go to Jonathan in Kansas. You're on the air. Welcome.
Yes, Alex. On the situation of, let's say, the piracy and all that on the internet, there's a video that's on YouTube, which I think is very powerful, because the guy goes into depth about how this is used to, this piracy will be used to blow up the prison population for profit prisons and stuff. The video is called, on YouTube, Mega Upload, Dangerous Secrets Affect You. And the guy,
yeah, but it's more than just that. They have these top advisors, Soros people. We covered it yesterday. White House regulations are admitting SOPA is to actually shut down, quote, conspiracy theorists. That means people that don't buy their lies. There's another article out with Cass Sunstein giving speeches saying, we're going to take over the internet and force people to buy electric cars. We'll make them do what we want. I mean, they're just a bunch of chicken necks who sit up there, and once they've bulldozed the Constitution, they can say, well, we're government, we're your God, we'll say what you do. And it's like, no, you scumbag tyrant. We're not going to do what you want, you piece of trash.
Well, yeah, also, what's so interesting is he has, like, all kinds of sources he cites. One of the things he's talked about is how big corporations actually funded BitTorrent. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, yeah,
we have a bunch of big articles showing. Look, the recording industry in Hollywood, remember sued and tried to ban VCRs? And, of course, it turned out VCRs within the decade after, basically, I've seen the study, I published it, a link to it last week, tripled their profits for over a decade off of VCR. Then DVD, they tried to ban that. Then they tried to ban downloads. It's a load of bull. It's one of the only industries still making record profits. Look, a few months ago, they shut down a big file-sharing website that's only about alternative music, where people sign agreements saying that they want it to be freely distributed. And I was reading how these sites, they shut down a bunch of them, were starting to rival mainstream music. And the globalists don't want alternative stuff in a free market to become popular. They want to control what music is popular, so that's why they shut it down. It's all about control.
Yeah, also, there's another video. This one's about eugenics, and it has to do with, it has to do with abortion. And basically, is this one lady, her name is Margaret Slee, and she was the president of Planned Parenthood.
Planned Devilhood?
Yeah, and basically she said she didn't like the idea of women's choice. She wanted it to be banned, childbirth. It's called No More Babies, Expert Call.
No, I've seen that quote. In fact, I meant to get to this yesterday. Great call, sir. Guys, put in birth more dangerous than abortion. There was an AP article going, they say ban abortion because of health problems, but maybe we should ban birth. It's of course, statistically, a full-size baby is going to be more dangerous at the time than having an abortion when the baby's 3 inches, 4 inches long. I mean, of course, but then they spin it like it's bad to have kids and try to scare women. Of course, they don't tell you there's a doubling per abortion of uterine cancer. You can look up those statistics. So, but I mean, it's like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs type headlines from the establishment we're seeing. Jared in Louisiana, welcome.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Alex, sorry. A couple things real quick. I wanted to say that the South is getting absolutely overlaid and inundated with chemtrails like I've never seen before. It looks like chicken wire across the sky every single day.
Yeah, they're trying to turn us into a dark city, a dark planet, and it's a giant secret program. They admit it's a program they're doing, but we don't get to know. And then the scientists have tested it. It's aluminum dioxide and massive brain damaging. So what? Government loves us. Everything's fine. Folks, they've been taking babies' blood for 40 years secretly, globally. They've been spraying since the mid-'90s secretly, now admitted. They're doing whatever they want. They're now saying having babies is bad and abortion is good. I mean, I'm showing mainstream headlines right now at prisonplanet.tv. What did you say, Chris? This is Time Magazine. Why abortion is less risky than childbirth. I mean, we're now entering the cuckoo land here. Again, up is down, down is up, evil is good, good is bad. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead and finish your point.
Two more things real quick. I'd like to say you had commented when you first started out today about the widespread heavy rains and severe weather that we've been experiencing ever since the solar flares yesterday. We're going to be experiencing it for the next 3 days. I wonder how much of that is strictly because of the heavy metals that have been spread into the atmosphere that are acting magnetically against what has been cast off from the sun.
Who knows? I mean, that's the problem, is that we know there was a Nobel Prize in '92 for chemtrailing. What they call geoengineering. A planet that's dead is turned to life, is terraforming, but one that's already has a system, they call it geoengineering. And of course, under our nose for years, scientists were going up, testing, saying jets must have it added to the fuel, aluminum dioxide, barium salts. Now the government admits that is what they're mixing with the fuel and spraying. They have special planes involved in pure cloud seeding, but they won't tell us the details. And then, yes, as scientists know that it's the sun's ions that mainly create nuclei, and so that's why we're seeing giant rainstorms all over the world right now at record levels because of this huge solar storm. But it's as if, well, it's not as if it is. The system doesn't want us to know about real science. I appreciate your call. Anything else, Jared?
I'd like to just repeat one quote for you that I think applies very good to you and your radio program.
Okay.
And that is, to destroy is easy, to build is difficult. Likewise, to mock and judge is easy, but to do what is right through the face of adversity is truly the way of a man. And I appreciate you being a man, you standing and saying what needs to be said, throwing it in the establishment's face, and I salute you and everybody else that is standing up by you.
Well, God bless you, my friend. We're all together on this, Jared. Look, it'd be one thing if there was some country that was free that we could run to. I'm going to be quite honest with you. If this was just one evil country and not a global government, I would probably just pull up stakes like our ancestors did and run to the other country. There's nowhere to go. So it's not really courage, folks. There's nowhere to go. They're not going to give us quarter. They're the nastiest, most evil elites we've ever seen. They're sick, horrible, devilish psychopaths, jacking our food, our water, our atmosphere, playing God. And they think they're the anointed gods, the transcendent, they're awake and conscious, we're animals. And then they're dumbing everybody down to create the self-fulfilling prophecy that we're animals that deserve to die. It's totally sick what the globalists have done. And 99% of people that even serve the system are being destroyed by it. And people need to realize that. There's no quarter. There's no game. There's not even a choice here. You've got to fight these people. Yeah, here it is. Delta reroutes planes following massive solar eruption, record northern lights, solar storms may cause cell phone dropouts. Solar storms effects to last Earth until Wednesday night. It goes on. And, of course, really no articles about why is there record rain in the U.S. and all over the world, in Africa and other areas, even in the dry season in Africa. It's the sun. It's the sun. It's the sun.
HempUSA.org has a revolution.
Before I realize that the government is completely illegitimate. I mean, I know that. I preach that. It's been usurped by criminals who are openly arming to the teeth against us and training police that real Americans are terrorists. I mean, it's right out of a movie. It's right out of history. And they think a bunch of drones and high-tech weapons are going to scare us. It's pathetic. And they're stealing everything. Like if we're totally poverty-stricken, they think we won't be able to fight back against them. And then I see the general public who's only half awake. They are in for such a rude awakening. Let's go ahead and go to Howard in California. You're on the air, Howard. Welcome.
Hey, Alex, I got to tell you, I'm in Los Angeles. I own a limousine company that has been basically gutted by the government, Bank of America, and the IRS, et cetera, et cetera. I'm hanging on by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah, you're not a big globalist insider. They're all exempt.
Yeah,
so
right.
You're a little guy trying to actually run, and just like the IRS with any small business, doesn't matter. If you could pay them all the money, they'd come and try to gang rape you.
Exactly. I'm just trying to hang on. I'm actually living out of my RV. That's how bad it's got. My last two landlords have been Israelis, believe it or not, because I'm in Los Angeles. But the worst thing is I finally saw something with my own eyes. It's one thing to talk about it, hear people talk about it on the radio, et cetera. I saw this with my own eyes at LAX, the Los Angeles airport. They've built a giant human holding pen. It's obvious. It's quite obvious what it's for. It's for processing people. This thing, they used to park all of our limousines and cars and buses at the eastern end of the north set of runways. There's two sets of runways at LAX. They used to park all of us at the eastern